Welcome to the home of the DIY movement, where we build stuff and paint things.
All right, y'all, welcome back. Today is Saturday, June 28, 2025. We got a lot scheduled today on the 62. We're moving closer to paint next weekend. So today, we got a lot to do in a short amount of time. Where we last left off, we got this thing all Raptor down, Raptor liner, tintable. That was in last week's video. Today what we're going to do is guide coat the entire thing and wet sand. The deck lid, moonroof cover, the whole shell, fenders, hood, dash, cowl, everything in preparation for paint. Skirts, firewall, pretty easy. We're going to be using Mirka dry guide coat, which hopefully we have enough. We should. We're going to be using some 400 in some areas first. Finish off with some Sunmite 600 on most likely something like this. I do have some Durablocks, some soft Durablocks probably use. The reason why we're going to start with 400 is because some areas, if you guys remember, especially the doors, when I sprayed the primer, the gun was acting up and it sprayed really bad, so it's really rough. So we're going to cut it with 400 first, maybe 320, just to get the heavy stuff off, re-guide coat, and finish in 600. The rest of it is pretty good, pretty much 2K primer. What it's sitting in right now is SPI 2K high build urethane primer. It's been in this primer for probably about a month or so, maybe at least 3 weeks, but some areas have been longer. The doors have been probably almost 6 weeks. So it's well cured. It's extremely hot today. So I'm going to move this thing out in the shade, get some fans going, wait for everybody to get here, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to wet sand everything. That's today's goal. We're just going to work as long as it takes to do it, but we got to get it done today. Bring you guys back once we get rolling. All right, here we are, the final sand before paint. 600 wet. We do everything by hand, no DA, although you could use a DA sander with an interface pad, but we've been doing everything by hand up to this point. This is a pretty crucial stage. At this point, you're not really getting the panel flat anymore. It should already be flat, but we use a block anyways, mainly because I think it's easier to hold than it is trying to sand just with sandpaper. So we're using a soft block, doing it wet. It's pretty messy. Basically all you do is smear the guide coat on and sand it off. What you're trying to do is get this finish smooth, not necessarily flat. Like I say, it's already flat at this point. We want smooth, so the result can be flat and smooth. And going 600, some areas 400 first because the primer sprayed a little rough, and then I'm going to be sealing this with reduced epoxy when the time comes in about a week. Then I'm going to reduce the epoxy about 25%. So yeah, you just want to put guide coat all over the whole thing and sand until the guide coat is gone, and that way you know that you have a smooth, uniform finish. You also want to take note if you're breaking through in a lot of areas to the layers underneath, and that can indicate that your panel's not quite flat. But I did sand most of the urethane off. There was some breakthroughs, kind of feathered out between the G2, and so I'll just let you know that there's not really a whole lot of material build up on the car. So yeah, we accomplished a lot. Got the whole thing sanded. And it's been a journey up to this point, but we are literally in primer, ready for paint, just like the Craigslist ads talk about when they're trying to sell a car. Only this is a much different meaning. I don't know how many hours we've got in this thing, but it's definitely been a journey. I'm also using a little sanding sponge right there. It's a 600 grit sanding sponge, I believe you bought on Amazon, which was really nice. I think it's a little bit more coarse than 600. I think it's more like maybe 500. but it worked great for all the little contour areas, especially around the tail end, tail lights, trunk gutters, door jambs. Little sanding sponge, 600 grit, worked great. Do it wet, you know, or dry. When you do it dry, it kind of gums up the paper. So, got both fenders done here. I think the total job here was, we all worked about 8 hours today, so about 32, 33 hours, man hours to wet sand the entire car in preparation for sealer, base coat, clear coat.
All right, it's about 2 o'clock. We got the hood in 600, minimal breakthrough. This would be the feather fill. This would be the black epoxy, with no metal. So we're good. Flattened out nice. May need a spot putty right there. I don't know, it's like a chunk of primer. Trunk is done. Same thing. You can actually smell the primer as you're sanding, so put it out in the sun, let it gas out some more. Fenders are done, you guys saw that. Trunk gutter's done. Quarter panel's done. Door's done. Firewall's done. You using 400 first?
Yep.
You don't. I wouldn't take the guide coat all the way because you still got to go 600 bottom. This quarter panel's done.
Yeah.
How'd it look? When did you get a glimpse wetted down where the gas tank was?
I don't know what the gas tank was.
That's good. Huh. Yeah. So what's left? That door, the roof, the moonroof cover, and one skirt, and the dash, and the jam. We'll be done. We're on schedule. Like 2? 2.
5.
Yeah, we can paint it tonight. Nah. So we're gonna put the drip rails on. Right?
Yeah.
The other one's on already?
No.
We're gonna put the drip rails on before paint because they're repop drip rails and repop drip rails. So we don't want to be wrestling with that after paint. So we're gonna do it before paint. It's coming along. Man, what a mess.
Well, a nice little wash.
Yeah. But you gotta get some soap, man. I don't have much soap. Dollar store soap. Huh? I know, man. I'll get some during the week. Alright. Bring you guys back. Anything you want to say, Bobby?
I'll tell you something, buddy.
You super excited?
I gotta do a little bit on
That's already drying.
right?
Yeah.
What side? This side? That side? This side?
This side looks nice. Man, if we would have used like 10 gauge on the firewall, dude,
Yeah, man.
that'd have been way easier. You ain't got to block nothing. Lesson learned, man.
Feel the same way, man.
Just a little bit around the edge, that the middle ain't gonna warp nothing. Ice main. Alright, so we're just going to dry this off real quick, move it in the sun, let it bake. Everything's done, 600 wet. Washing it with Dawn dish soap and water.
1-0, middle of the first. Oh, the lacquer.
Take it then?
The lacquer take it off?
Probably.
Bring that little bottle in there. 1-0 comes up.
Alright, we got it in the sun drying. It's pretty dry. So we did everything we were supposed to do. We wet sand the whole entire car, 400, 600. Washed it. That needs a little bit of oil. But washed it. Dried it. No big breakthrough. So what we're seeing is 2K urethane, G2 epoxy. No bare metal anywhere really. Giveaway. All right. The giveaway is the first Impala that had tilt steering. When did tilt steering come out in the Impala? That's the giveaway. Anybody can answer that? First person to answer that, I'll send you something. Is it working?
A little bit. Hey, you can do that side?
I don't know. What year was it?
So anyways, man, that's a wrap for this weekend. Everything is pretty clean. And we did have to do a little bit of touch-up work on the roof rail here, just a hair. With some dolphin glaze, some areas that we found. But outside of that, everything's looking good. So we're gonna bring you guys back, I guess when we start masking it next weekend. Y'all stay tuned.